Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and this is my review of not Battle Angel Alita, Alita Battle Angel. So I just saw Alita Battle Angel. God, it's so weird for me to say that. Okay, so I saw Alita Battle Angel today, and it was pretty good. The reason it's so weird for me to say it like that is, obviously it was. I've read it called Battle Angel Alita for 30 years, and then they switched it around for the movie release. But it totally makes sense when you watch the movie. It's about someone named Alita who has the nickname of the Battle Angel. It's fine. So Battle Angel. Wait, Alita Battle Angel is a James Cameron written movie that he wrote, as far as I know, like freaking 30 years ago. So I got into comics hardcore in 1988, and they used to have it was like they had Star Log, and then they had this other magazine. It was called like Comic Scene or something like that. And the last page of it was all of the movies that were being made. What it really was any movie that was remotely in development anywhere ever, maybe. So you'd hear about like Neil Gaiman doing the script for I, Lucifer, for a Modesty Blaze movie that never ever happened. So anyway, as maybe as far back as like 1993 or so, I remember James Cameron talking about his Battle Angel Alita script. So James Cameron, obviously, he did Terminator, Terminator 2, True Lies, Aliens, The Abyss. The Abyss kind of fell down the memory hole. Nobody talks about The Abyss anymore. The Abyss was a big deal when it came out. But it was one of those movies that I heard about being made forever. And then I heard Robert Rodriguez was... and so I like James Cameron a lot. And so then I heard Robert Rodriguez was attached. And I was like, I have heard him attached to so many things that never, ever happened. He was supposed to do Red Sonja. He was supposed to do John Carter. And I actually really like some of Robert Rodriguez's stuff. I love the Desperado movies. I love Sin City movies. The second one is actually really good. Nobody ever talks about it. The second one is as good or maybe even better than the first one. It just had, unfortunately, it was one of those things where the sequel comes out way too late and everyone's just like, this is weird. I'm going to go watch Sin City for free on cable for the 8 millionth time. So anyway, Alita Battle Angel, when I got into it, so I had no interest in it. I thought the previews looked weird. We've all seen them. The girl has big manga eyes. And I was like, whatever, this is going to be a huge disaster. This movie, if it was going to come out, should have come out 25 years ago with James Cameron or Catherine Bigelow directing it. But the word of mouth was freaking insane. All I've been hearing, in emails and private messages the last couple of days is like, have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? It's really good. It's really good. And I got to tell you, I saw it today and it was really good. But one thing they never tell you is Alita Battle Angel is James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez tricking you into going and see a YA movie like Hunger Games, or more specifically Divergent, or any of those other YA novels that have been made into a book. Now, it's not a YA novel. It's a I believe series of manga volumes from the mid 80s. But it's definitely made as if the source material was some YA novel that came out 5 years ago. So it's about a girl named Alita, who is found in a scrapyard below a floating city called Zulum, by the German guy. The German guy from Inglourious Bastards. And then she's just like a head and a chest, and then he fixes her up in this pretty cool like white bone body armor robot suit. and he brings her back to life, and he starts showing around the city. Now, again, my reaction to this was very interesting. I really liked the main character. In fact, I liked most of the characters. But Robert Rodriguez is kind of a cheeseball, and I feel like he's gotten a lot lazy. So I'm older-ish. So I remember seeing a bunch of big movies, from the 1980s, and there was this thing where they would say, like, I remember it from Batman Returns. So like, we built a whole city on a soundstage, and they talk about all the things. It's like, but what they always really did was build one town square, and then every single thing happened in it. If you see Batman Returns, there's a town square, and amazingly, the whole movie takes place there. Same thing with it drove me insane in Gangs of New York. They built a really, really expensive set of one block of New York, and then amazingly, every single thing happened on that block. So he built like 3 or 4 little alleys or single blocks of this city. I forget what the city is called. And man alive, 80% of the actual shot footage takes place in those alleys. So it just kind of felt kind of lazy and flat in that way. But one of the other, but it doesn't ruin it. But I just kept noticing it. So I didn't really know anything about this movie. I mean, after 1998, its development, I used to read every single movie magazine. I used to watch every, all the DVD extras. Now it's just like it's the 70s. A movie just comes out in the theater and I see it or I don't see it. And I'm just basically guessing a bunch of stuff. So ALITA seems to be, I don't know, motion captured with a CGI face, but a CGI face that seems to be maybe based very specifically on one person. One of the things they have I briefly worked in 3D animation, is I believe it's called mirroring, or where you build a 3D model, but you really just kind of work on half of it, and then you mirror it around the central axis. So what happens is everyone has these kind of oddly perfect faces that your brain, like your eye just goes, oh, that looks like a person. And your brain goes, no, it does not. If you look at a person, their jaw is not, one side of the jaw does not completely match the other side. One side of the nose doesn't match the other side. The hairline on one side will go up a little bit more than the other side. So I actually noticed she had imperfections. Her nose has kind of like almost like she had a pock mark or something like that. She has like a gummy smile, which usually you just kind of want to make, when some people, when they smile, their upper lip goes up and you see a lot of gum. What I'm saying is they did give her big manga eyes, which I don't remember them really specifically explaining. There's a lot of lore, and sometimes when they show the lore, I'm fine, but when they talk about it, my brain just goes to sleep. There was a war with colonists from Mars 300 years ago. It's something with robots. I don't know. I didn't catch any of that stuff. I just know that ALITA gets into adventures. There's this thing called rollerball, something. And it's kind of a mess, but I actually liked it. One of the things I liked about this is they took stuff that would have been stretched over 3 movies, and they just put it all in one movie. At one point, you think the German guy is secretly a serial killer and he's going to be the villain. And then like two scenes later, you find out that he has a side job hunting evil cyborgs and then he'll tell you why. So you go, oh, I got like the excitement of, oh, maybe he's a bad guy. And then you had a quick resolution, which is very satisfying. And then we go on to like the next thing. So like I said, it's very YA. It's the girl who has the magic something, and she's very special, but nobody knows why, but they kind of know why. And then you have like a very, very simple society where there are elites and there are downtrodden. Although, again, this is I'm putting this on Robert Rodriguez. the the city, I think it was supposed to be like a dump, but it just seemed to kind of okay. Like a lot of people were really nice, and I kept noticing the extras were everyone was just kind of like smiling. So I think that's part of directing. That's part of I think the first AD, the first assistant director. So I think the tone was like, let's just have a pleasant tone, but it didn't work. What worked was Alita, the actress, who I have no idea who it was, and the CGI and the direction of those two was really, really good. Alita is very endearing. She doesn't seem like a weird computer mirage. She seems like a real person. And the acting and the face acting is just amazing. So that's really what dragged me in. I have a friend who says the male like romantic lead was very boring. He was just kind of there. He had an interesting story. They just kind of did it very kind of like safe and blah. It was a weird movie. It was odd, strange, but a very endearing movie. I found myself spacing out sometimes, especially when they got into all the lore. But I was always very into Alita's plight. What does she want in this scene? What are her goals? What are her fears? There's some reversals, double reversals. It seemed kind of like a choppy movie since, like I said, I think it feels like I don't know. Cameron wrote the movie and the sequel, and then they just squished them all into one movie. Um, they did leave more for the end, and at the end they revealed, the very YA novel, evil white guy with blonde hair in the elitist society, and I first thought it was James Cameron. I know James Cameron's like 70, but he's in fairly good shape, and so when they first showed it, I was like, "Oh, is that James Cameron?" But it's not. It's Edward Norton. But it was a nice thing where they didn't have to resolve every single thing in the society. They had kind of like a mid-level victory, and then they went on from there. So it was good. It was good. I feel like this is gonna be like Aquaman and the average person. Not to sound elitist. No, the plebs will love this. I think the average person who doesn't get wrapped around the axle about things like I do will absolutely love it. Like I said, the word of mouth was insane. So I would definitely recommend it to pretty much everyone. So anyway, tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about Alita Battle Angel. Battle Angel Alita. Thanks for watching, and I'll have another video tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.